What is up, y'all? My name is Nori and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about the series that I need to finish. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like sometimes I just read books and then I totally forget that the books are in a series, and then I'll just never finish the series, hence some of the books that are in here. So like this year I need to prioritize some series. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I will finish them, but no promises. Maybe at the end of the year we'll just go through and be like, oh, did you actually finish them, or were you just talking smack in your channel? Okay, so yeah, we're gonna start. So the first series that we have here, it is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This is called the Arc of the Scythe Trilogy. I have only read one book and I own two books. I don't actually own the third one, but I read the first one, 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. I think I read it last year. So if you did not know, these series are pretty popular. So I'm just gonna run through them. Now, this world in Scythe, these people have conquered death. In order to control population, they made this group called Scythes, and Scythes are literally Grim Reapers that kill people just to contain the population. Now we follow 2 apprentices and we follow their journey through there. This book is wild. It was intense. Like, I got like goosebumps reading it, and it was just so it was creep, but I loved it. Highly recommend that you read the series. Now I need to finish it because it's still fresh in my mind, so I don't think I have to start over from the beginning. So I can just read Thunderhead and then The Toll, which I do not own. But yeah, the series needs to be completed. The next beloved series, this hype series, we're talking about the Grisha Trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. If you have not heard about this series, I don't know where you have been, but it's getting a Netflix series, and I own all of the books and Six of Crows, and I wanted to finish the series before the Netflix show, and it wasn't even because of the Netflix show, it's because I wanted to read King of Scars and now the new book, and you can't really read them without actually reading the trilogy, because it was supposed to be the trilogy, then the Six of Crows duology, and then the new series that she's writing. But I just jumped into the Six of Crows because when the Six of Crows came out, I just started reading again, so that's the only series that I saw, and I was like, yes, I need to have it. I love that duology. But now that we're continuing on with the series, and I haven't read the original trilogy, the Grishaverse, your girl is gonna be lost, and I was like, nah, bro, I can't do this. I need to read the trilogy. But luckily for me, I have read 2 books in the series, and I'm just literally missing Ruin and Rising, which has to get done before the Netflix series. So like hopefully in the coming weeks your girl has finished this series. So we have Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and then Ruin and Rising. And I don't really need to talk about the series because everybody and their grandmother knows, but this follows Alina, and it follows her being in an army, and she is actually discovering that she has a very rare unknown power called the Sun Summoner. So things kind of get complicated with her training, and she finds out a whole bunch of stuff that lead to a crazy adventure. This trilogy is well beloved and hated at the same time because this was Leigh Bardugo's first series, so you know there's going to be a lot of mistakes here, but it is well beloved because everybody and their grandmothers love Six of Crows. And their main complaint was that Six of Crows just doesn't have any world building. But what they didn't realize is that there is a whole trilogy with the world building. So I suggest that if you want more world building, you have to read this trilogy. Then go to Six of Crows and then continue on with the new series. So I'm done with one series. I'm almost done with this one, so I can finally start with the other one. The next series that we're going to be talking about, it is the Poppy War series by R.F. Kuang. Oh my god, when this series first came out, it blew up, and I was like, oh my god, let me just read it. This is an adult fantasy, and the first book we follow Rin, and Rin was very poor and gets sent off to, I want to say like a military training style, because of all her obstacles, she actually still made it to the top school. So this book follows one of my favorite tropes, which is school, training, and like a competition. I love that type of stuff. But all of these kids are preparing for a war that is about to break out, and there are certain powers in play, and this book gets dark. Like, I heard that a lot of people are like, yo, this book is something else. But like when I read it, I was like, oh my god. And yeah, no, so this book is dark. So just letting you guys know. And it is the Poppy War. The second one is the Dragon Republic. And the third one, it is the Burning Gods, which just came out last year. I was hoping to kind of read this series in a row so I can finally get to the last book, but you know, nothing that I plan actually works out. So I have to complete the series, and well-beloved series. I heard nothing but like mixed things about the last book, but honestly, I tend to go with like the unpopular opinion, which is probably that I'm going to love it. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super hyped. But this series is super intense, which is maybe why I put off the second one, but I still have it fresh on my mind, so I need to pick it up. And we are going to throw it back with this series. And the series that I'm talking about, it is the Divergent series by Veronica Roth, which consists of Divergent, Allegiant, and Insurgent. This series, I knew about the series, and I never picked it up in my youth. I know. I was like, oh, hype train. It passed along. But like, I know this series, and I was pleasantly surprised when I picked out Divergent in my TBR cookie jar, and I actually loved it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. So I was like, oh my god, I need to continue on with the series, and then I never did. So hopefully I own the whole entire series. So hopefully the cookie jar will put me back in my place so I can start reading it, or now that I said that I was going to review this by the end of the year, maybe I'll pick it up on my own. But yes, Divergent, if you did not know, again, this is an old series, but a very popular series, and it follows 4 factions, and you get sorted into 4 factions, but it turns out that the government is hiding a secret just to control the population. You can have more than 2 factions, which makes you Divergent, and if the government finds out, they will kill you or they will get rid of you. So our main character, she flunks the test and Divergent, but somebody protects her on the inside and then sent her to the craziest wild warriors, which is Dauntless. So you see her going through that training and to prove that she is actually dauntless, but things happen and maybe her secret is out and she connects with another character. So this series can get dark at times, but it is very wild and it is very adventurous, and I loved it. So I'm going to be continuing on with the series. Another throwback series, but very popular series, it is To All the Boys by Jenny Han. Now this consists of To All the Boys I Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, and then Always and Forever Laura Jean. Now everybody and their grandmothers knows the series because of the Netflix, and I'm pretty sure that the 3rd movie just came out. Your girl is behind because I did watch the first movie and I didn't get to the 2nd movie because I'm like, oh my god, I want to continue on with the series before I watch the movie. And then the 3rd movie went out and I still did not watch the 2nd. But I'm pretty sure it was this year that I read Yes, I Still Love You. I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I lied. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars because the first one I gave a 3.5 and the second one I gave a 4 stars. I know, shocking. The middle book syndrome did not kick it with this one because I loved the second one more than the first one. So I was like, oh my god, I need to watch the movie. And then the 3rd one came out and I still haven't finished the series. So if you did not know, To All the Boys I Loved Before, it follows Laura Jean and her high school adventures. Now she writes letters to all of the boys that she has loved before, and then surprise, her letters get shipped out to all of the boys, including her older sister's boyfriend. that she used to love and have a crush on, and nobody knows that. So when the boyfriend starts to question her, because they used to be really close friends, she decides to start fake dating the most popular boy, which is Peter Kavinsky, and it actually turns into something else. So it has a fake dating trope, has a high school drama, and it has a family together raised by a single dad because the mom has passed away. So it has some good representation. I love the series, and I gotta finish it. So yeah. The next series that we have here is another adult fantasy. It's almost like a new adult fantasy. You'll see why. And we're talking about the Divabod Trilogy by S.A. Chakraborty, following the City of Brass, the Kingdom of Copper, and the Empire of Gold. I'm such a fake fan because I was like raving about this series, and then I pre-ordered the audiobook to the third book, and I never read it. I know. It came out last year, and I was so mad at myself when I was like, I have the audiobook. Why haven't I not read it? But your girl's gonna get to it. I still remember it fresh in my memory because these books are so good. So this story follows Nari, and Nari is a con woman. She heals people. She just doesn't believe in magic, but one day, performing one of her healing things, she actually summons a djinn, which forces her to realize that there is magic and there is a whole nother world out there that she only believed in stories. So it follows Nari and her adventures to get to this land, and realizes that she has a very powerful history. So it is nothing but adventures and learning, and this series takes a turn, which is like understatement of the year. Oh my god, the series is so good. It is twists and turns and dark and magic, and it's top notch. So like, you guys need to get on the series, and I need to finish it. I know. The next series I'm going to talk about, it is another oldie, and it is Marked, or the House of Night series by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. I own most of the books, and I started reading it last year, and the series got good. Now, the series is problematic, okay? Straight up problematic. There's some things that were said that I'm just like, oh my god. Like, you could tell this was like 2008 or 9, because like nobody would dare say some crap like that this year. But I will say that these books are just, they're entertaining, okay? They are entertaining. I can't help myself. It was just like entertainment at its finest, and problematic. So it's like, I don't like to recommend this series, but it's actually getting a TV show, so I don't know where we stand on that. I really don't. So this follows our main character, and she gets a mark straight on her forehead when she's living out her best teenage high school life, and she's going to turn into a vampire, which in this world you don't straight up turn into a full adult vampire. You get this mark, and you have to go to the House of Night to develop your powers, to know your history, and that's not even a guarantee, because people do die in the process of trying to turn into an adult. So it follows her, it follows a found family, it follows a crazy behind the scenes things of I can't even get to it because it's spoiler, but it follows something dark and sinister happening in the background, and it's up to our main character because, chosen hero trope there, and it's up to her and her friends to stop this. Again, problematic series. I don't really recommend it to anybody, but like, it's so entertaining. Like, I'm not gonna stop reading it, okay? Shame on me, bow bow, but like, I'm not gonna stop reading it, and I want to finish this series. I think I'm on book 4 or 5. So again, continuing on with the series, read at your own risk, but to me, super entertaining. We have two more series to talk about. One actually is like above me, but we're gonna save that one for the last. And the next one, it is The Diviners by Libba Bray. We follow the Diviners, Lair of Dreams, Before the Devil Breaks You, and The King of Crows. I don't know why I picked up the Diviners, but like this was like way back when it first became like really big on booktube, and I'm not a mystery thriller type of person, and when I tell you that this book creeped me out, maybe I'm just a chicken, but like I could only read this during the daytime. Because of Naughty John. If you know, then you know. But like I was so creeped out, and I was listening to the audiobook, and the narrator, oh my god, she does incredible. But like when I tell you that I was so creeped out, I was so creeped out, and I just never continued on with the series. So this follows Evie, and Evie has gifts to touch an object, and she can read the object or tell its history, and she actually gets in trouble because of her gift, and she upsets a very rich family, and her parents can't even deal with her anymore. So to ward off the scandal, she gets sent to New York with her uncle in this museum, but things start happening in New York that are pretty dark. People start disappearing, and Evie and her friends, because of her gift, she decides to confront this evil going on. So it follows her and her friends. Oh my god, the series is so good. As in, like, the first book was so freaking good. The audiobook, highly recommend, but I never actually picked it up. And last year was what is it, The King of Crows? Yes, The King of Crows. It came out, and I know that these books are phenomenal. I just gotta pick them up. I don't even own any of them. It was just like a whim. I was like, oh yeah, let me just pick up the audiobook, and I fell in love with it. That's just a series that I want to continue and to pick up, so that's why it's on my list. And the last and final book or books in the series, it's actually a very short series, and I'm talking about the Binti Trilogy by Nnedi Okorafor. I actually own this right here, and the only reason why I'm pulling it out, it's because this book contains the 3 books. I know this looks like a regular size, but the trilogy is all in here, and I told myself that I was going to read this for Black History Month in February, and I never picked it up. But like, I own the series. I love the cover. I loved the first book. What's stopping me from reading such a small book when I can literally read like an 800 book in like less than a week? Why can't I just pick this up and read it? Okay, like, fail on my part. I need to read this. And this follows Binti. This is like a sci-fi series, and Binti comes from a very small village, and everybody stays inside that village. But Binti gets a scholarship across the space to study, and she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave my family and I'm gonna go to college. But along the way, these aliens kind of slaughter everybody and choose her to be, I guess, an emissary, because the school that she went to wronged these people. So it involves her. It gets brutal. It's fascinating, and I have nothing but good things to say about this series, but I just have to pick it up. So yeah. Alright, and that is it for all of the series that I want to finish by this year, because I'm pretty sure if I look at the end of the year, I'm going to have more series that I need to finish, especially last year and this year. I'm going to have more series that I literally need to finish. So I need to finish the old ones so I can continue on with the new ones. I know it's a lot, but yeah, your girl needs to get on that. So thank you so much for watching my channel. If you have read any of these series, or like these series, or hate the series, let me know in the comment sections down below. And if you have nothing else to say, spam your recent emojis or leave me purple hearts, because purple is my favorite color. So again, thank you so much for watching my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.